I'm ready.
All right.
To arrive.
Okay. Let's see here.
No
It
pressure.
is still 7, so we're not even late as far as my clock's concerned. All right, everyone. Welcome. Good evening welcome to the Town Council meeting of Monday, February 28th, 2022. We'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Stand for Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A moment of silence. Thank you. All right, I'd like to announce that the meeting is being streamed live to the Carroll Media Center's YouTube channel as well as the town's Facebook page. First of order is public comments. I haven't been made aware of any intentions for those, so I will actually like to mention something that Councilwoman Guroff mentioned at last meeting, which was the fact that she was asked how individuals from the public could bring forth their comments regarding items like the development at Warfield. And we want to announce again this evening that anytime anyone has a comment that wants to be shared with the council, it can be emailed outside of the meeting to town@sykesville.net, and then those comments will be read into the public record at the following council meeting. Okay, first order of business on our agenda is the minutes from January 24th, 2022, which did have some revisions and was held over from our last meeting. I assume everyone's reviewed them, I should say. Motion to approve?
Yeah, so I got a question
Sure.
about the minutes. Because our meetings are being streamed live all the time, do we need to even proceed with minutes?
That's a very good question. I would assume just as part of the Robert's rules and for record keeping sake, we need to.
Yeah, and I'll just say this, that the minutes that you all approve are in fact the official record of the body. So the recordings are good to have, and people can go back and reference what was said, particularly at any individual meeting, but the minutes themselves are the official record.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of approval of the minutes from January 24th, 2022?
Aye.
That's both, isn't it?
I believe. Well, I had them separate on here. Let's do the
My
same.
motion was for both
It
minutes
was?
to be approved at the
Okay,
same
so
time. Was
the
that what
movement-
your second was for?
Yes, it was.
The movement and the second of that movement has been, I believe, then voted on unanimously. Both minutes have been approved. First item of new business is the Downtown Sykesville Connections annual presentation. And I'd like to invite Julie Della Maria, our Executive Director of the Downtown Sykesville Connection, to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be here. It's been such a long time. Thank you for having me. I'm going to walk you through a year of work with the DSC. My first slide is titled Part 3 of Powering Through the Pandemic, because we do that presentation every year at about the same time. So in 2020, when I stood in front of you at that time of year, we knew something big was coming. We had no idea of the magnitude of it. When I stood in front of you in 2021, we knew how terrible it was going to be. And at the beginning of 2022, we do have hope that we are about to this time finally turn a page or see some improvement. On this slide, you can see at the bottom what the DSC's financial leveraged amount and impact was on the Sykesville community. This is what's happened in 2021. The cumulative effort of the organization is on the impact sheet that is in front of you, in front of each and every of you. And that impact sheet summarizes what we have been doing since we have been, since the Main Street program, the former DSC, the Sykesville Business Association, Main Street Association, was created in 2011. I will now walk you through our accomplishment and achievement per committee. I am sure you can go through the bullet on the slide, so I will just do a few highlights of what is on each and every slide. Our organization committee has for mission to connect partners and to connect visitor, resident, and business owner within the organization and with other nonprofit or other partner groups. With that committee, we have had this year a very successful Pink Fling. You may remember in 2020, the first edition, when the DSC was a pilot helping an artist making all the windows downtown turning pink, and that got us a very nice new segment. I think it was W Baltimore. So that has created something bigger. Now this artist is coming back downtown more often with different color and theme, and you can enjoy Main Street Business's windows changing throughout the year, whether it's fall, pride, or other events that are happening. We have dedicated a bench to Donna Box. You can see it in front of this townhouse next to the Bob dedicated to Bob Bond. And I think that's a tangible representation of the good it is to be together at good and bad times. We are very honored to have Mayor Link during the dedication of the bench. Surrounding the bench is a family of Donna Box, including a sister and a wife that are now entrenched into volunteering with the Downtown Sykesville Connection, especially the golf tournament. Our hackathon this year was very successful. Thank you to all who participated. Over $18,000. I really like when we beat our previous record every year. 73 children and a lot going to the family, and a little more that we are trying to spread throughout the year to sustain an effort that should not stop after the holiday. We are currently exploring applying for the Choose Civility designation. That's going to be a steps tool for us to structure and develop a diversity committee task force that is going to be our focus of 2022, because it's time for us to think and do beyond what we were doing before. The design committee has reached all of its target marks this year, whether it was project or grant award. We were awarded some more money from the Carroll County Art Council that will be used to create postcards in different settings and for different purposes. We have administered the coolest and best logo contest that you can see at the bottom of this slide, and you may have seen already on hats that are available at the post office. It will also be used to produce more merchandise as we progress through different projects. We created a greeting from Sykesville Ghost Side that you can see in the corner of the slide. It was one of the small efforts to keep people together while apart. It's outside, you can go take a selfie. It has becoming increasingly popular, and we love it. The design was donated by Shannon Baum. Many of you were present at the launch of our coloring book at Market Tavern and receive a copy of it. That was a project we are very proud of because it was including mental health and well-being into an art project. We have created a virtual historic tour, and that's a nugget of information, a little gift for you, because it has not been officially launched just yet. Near you, you can find either a frame or a piece of paper that bears a QR code. If you scan that QR code, you will be sent to a little application. Play with the slider at the top of the application that will show you before and after. And please enjoy the audio feature that were created by a voice artist, Megan Forbes, and with the support of the CMC, were added to the app. That was an internship project with Sarah Bondroff of Liberty High School. We are currently developing our work plan and working on future projects. And my pride and joy is standing next to you on its own tail. The Sykesville Snallygaster prototype is there. It's part of projects that we have decided to focus on for the youth. There is a mural coming downtown Sykesville that will have 10 of those little Snallygaster hidden in it. And it's not fun if you cannot actually touch one and snuggle with it. So you can see the prototype and the post-production sample. 500 of the small Snallygaster are coming downtown Sykesville for the opening of the farmers market. Economic Development Committee was also on target in 2021. You can see here a list of the grants that we were awarded. I only put here as a major award that supported a grant relief project for the downtown businesses, some operating support for the downtown Sykesville connection, and some of the grants that we're going to talk about in 2 slides. I think also what is noted as an effort of that committee is a gift card that is valid in 28 downtown shops in any increment that the user wishes to use. It is available on the homepage of our website. On the very top of the header, you can find a little orange icon, and that's something that does not cost anything to the merchant community besides the swiping fee of a MasterCard, and that was completely administered by the Downtown Sykesville Connection. We officially received our title of Best and Coolest Main Street in America in 2021 during the parade. It was absolutely fantastic. We had elected officials coming to celebrate with us, congressmen, and many other people were there. And we also had a very nice media segment on CBS. Please feel free to request it. I will be happy to share and brag some more about it. What was very exciting is that title that was awarded to us by Independent We Stand, who showed up with a giant cardboard check that doesn't fit in the ATM. Brought Bill Brunel, the director of Independent We Stand, a nonprofit that supports small business, and like everyone that shows up in Sykesville, he fell in love with Sykesville, so he asked if he could come back for a satellite media tour. With the support of the town of Sykesville, we were able to close the road and do 4 hours of video that generated 343 airing, over 8 million impressions, and we have been reaping the fruits of this already. We have seen an increase in foot traffic over the holidays and a different population in our main street. The focus of that satellite media tour was surrounding areas, so it was Baltimore, Virginia, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. I am not sure we will see anyone coming after watching it from Portland, Oregon, but who knows. Green Committee has also been very active. In addition of the traditional activity of the Green Committee, which is tending to our 2 community gardens, we have added administration of the Keep Sykesville Beautiful designation, which makes us eligible for different grants, and we got a 100% award of all the grants we applied for under that designation. Those grants include the Healing the Planet grant, which you will see the results from very soon. It's an improvement program at the Sykesville Railroad, Little Sykes Railroad Park. It will be including a sign, little gardening, improvement of the arts, and a quilt. A quilt that will put us on the Carroll County quilt trail, sorry, I'm being French, quilt trail, that it does exist. Check it online. It is actually a website that features all the quilts all over Carroll County, and you can take a bus tour and visit all the quilts, and I'm extremely excited to see that coming. Ours will be a little different in the sense that people are just not going to do a drive-by. There's place to park, there's things to do around the quilt, so we hope that there is another tourism game by being part of that quilt trail. We have also we're fully funded for the Green Up, Clean Up, and with which we bought trash can for Sykesville Parks and the farmers market. And finally, another program that was very exciting to be part of is a cigarette littering prevention program, for which we were fully granted to. We purchased stand-up cigarette receptacle for certain areas that were identified as especially dirty with cigarette butts when we had our first plugging, picking up litter while jogging. There are other areas in Sykesville that are unfortunately way too narrow for stand-up receptacles, so we had to be creative and order pole receptacles that will be attached to the pole. They come with all the hardware for that. It would have been way too easy to use the stickers that come with them, so we decided to design our own stickers, and for that we created a youth art contest that involves Piney Ridge Elementary School was a huge actor in that. Miss Courtney Evans, a teacher, had a 5th grader designing the entry for that contest. We had originally in mind to select one, but as you can see on that slide, it was impossible. So the Keep Sykesville Beautiful board decided to select 10, and I think the recipient of the award would be very pleased to be honored tonight by Mayor Link.
Sure. I'd like to announce those that are most noteworthy with respect to the contest. But first, I personally would like to thank, and you mentioned Miss Courtney Evans, the art teacher at Piney Ridge Elementary School. She not only made this a fun project for the kids in class, but she preceded the actual artistic representation of our KSB, of the Keep Sykesville Beautiful's litter prevention campaign with an actual lesson plan that taught them about the importance of litter prevention and taught them about the cigarette recycling campaign that KSB is doing. So without further ado, I'm going to list a few of the winners' names, or I should say some. Logan Fringelli receives special mention. I'd like to just comment on Logan's artwork. He produced a piece of art that, in that size and shape, that included Freddie Mercury, the lead singer to Queen, of Queen, and then went as far as to use, he creatively incorporated his environmentally conscientious message into the cadence of Queen's rock ballad, "We Will Rock You." So I thought it was important enough to mention that one as a standout job. But some more little kiddos, 5th graders' names, who I'm sure don't appreciate me calling them little kiddos, is Jack Morang, Kaylin Tyler, Kenley Augustin, and if I get any of these names wrong, I'm so sorry. Layla Trainum, Kara Kari Sakai, I'm going to say that again, Kari Sakai, Savannah Sabo, Kaylee Coulson, among others. So congratulations, and we might as well, they're not here, but I think we should give them a job well done.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right.
And as you mentioned, it came with a lesson plan that will be implemented by the health teacher, Ms. Diane Weatherby, who is going to work with 4th grader Lula Anderson and 5th grader Raylene Arnold to make the presentation in school. The presentation was created by middle schooler. We didn't leave anyone out. Liam Anderson and Ethan Arnold, and that's taking place in the month of March, and that will be the end of that project. Oh, I forgot I'm in charge of this. The promotion committee does not need a lot of explaining because it is really very prominent what we do, whether it's a farmer's market, the favorite that lasts for 6 months, or any of the large events. All of it is our fault. And thank you for everyone who participates and help putting those together, because it's a lot of work, and, even if it's a lot of fun. Another interesting project from the promotion committee was working with PR Platinum to develop a branding and marketing strategy. We learned a lot, and we have since creating a newsletter to help explain to our audience who we are, why we're doing things this way, and invite them to join us. We also have embodied our new event coordinator, Jackson Frazier, that I'm sure you will see on Main Street with me on many occasions. And we created memories. So that's all I have for you tonight. I wanted to take advantage of this presentation to recognize the Mayor and Town Council for their continued support, whether we need brainstorming, help with event volunteer, or fundraising support. You guys always are there. I also wanted to recognize the fabulous working relationship we have with the town of Sykesville, all the town staff, whether it's the administrative staff, public works, or the town of Sykesville Police Department. We have a very strong and productive team, and special thanks to Joe Constantini, our town manager. I love working with you, and I'm very honored to do so. And whether I'm calling you, you always pick up and put the same effort in everything we do, whether it's a window cleaning or conversation about a zip line, and I'm very thankful for your patience and your guidance and everything you do for us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. It's a fantastically thorough update, and I enjoyed it.
Can
Oh,
I ask a question?
oh, absolutely. Are you there for questions, Julie?
Yes,
Let's do it.
question, please.
So this is like, if I'm missing it, just tell me.
Okay.
But I've already, you and I think have exchanged messages. I've mentioned stuff in the council about being concerned about the loss of the fall festival and kind of activities that weren't, that were family oriented and stuff. And I can't remember, and so it might not be you. It might be like I can't remember where I know I've heard discussions that we're trying to find a place to put that.
So it's going to sound like I almost wanted you to ask this question.
She was planted.
The second document you have in front of you is a calendar of event of the DSC that was approved by the town.
Right.
That is featuring three events that are involving alcohol and 6 or 7 others that are centered on family-friendly activities. But because the entire Downtown Sykesville Connection staff and organization believes that the more family-oriented activities are better, we have explored with the town manager, the town, and a church who host a Fall Fest, a collaboration that would bring back a fall fun type of activity downtown Sykesville in collaboration with that group, and at the same time with some kind of a transportation system between Main Street and Miller Cooper Park. And I'm excited to report that we already have found a square dancing group and a circus school that would be thrilled to participate to the Main Street part of it.
So it's not because it was like it wasn't here, and I was like,
No,
I thought it was somewhere in the discussions.
We run everything through town staff before, so it has been in discussion. Until we're done ironing out the detail, is going to stay our little secret.
Is that and that goal is for 2022?
Yes.
Okay.
This year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that.
No, I know. It's just, like, yeah.
So, Councilwoman Gaurav, there are also other events that are not here because they are considered shopping events. There's no road closure. They're all most of them are family friendly. So Harry Potter Night is around the corner, April 22nd, 6 to 9 p.m. There will be a shopping event, a ladies' night on April 1st, 5 to 8 p.m. So all the smaller events are not mentioned on that larger calendar of larger events.
Yeah, like the Cocoa Stroll and
Yes,
the
yeah,
first.
exactly.
Are we doing First Fridays and
First Friday was a merchant event. We are working now with the merchant on the Economic Development Committee to bring back a few of those nights that got diluted in a very massive DSC event calendar. So we're trying to do not more but better.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. It's good for us to know.
I got a question too, if
Go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Sure.
So, look, first of all, great job. I
Thank
mean,
you.
this is one of the reasons we have the DSC is because they're so able to change to the environment that was happening in the last 2 years. It's amazing. So, I do have a question about the Diversity Committee. Is that a state mandate now for the Main Street Association?
It is not mandate. It is something that a lot of Main Street programs have recognized as a pillar of their culture. Usually, the projects that are linked to it, the activities or the fundraising initiative are working across committees. It's a way of thinking. It's a way we should be conducting operation more than just a committee. So we are shaping up our task force for that group to be able to help us remember why we're doing things or connecting different committees with in mind diversity, inclusiveness, and togetherness.
Can we apply for the Choose Civility designation without that committee?
We can choose civility. The Choose Civility designation is whatever you decide match or fit the best your community. It's an umbrella type of designation where a group of people, an organization is going to decide of a focal point and develop operation with that focal point in mind.
All right.
So it's not connected to the book.
To what?
To the book.
There are so many books about
So Howard County did it through the library, connected specifically to a book called Choose Civility. And
So
like it was, and that was what their activities.
I don't know
were.
if the book became the designation or the designation became the book. There are several Choose Civility designated communities in Maryland, but they are not all called Choose Civility. They have created their own own branding based on the same principle.
Understood.
So is it the Choose Civility designation, is that through the state? Like, or can we just say, hey, we're a civil community? I don't know. I'm not asking. I mean, I've seen the bumper stickers driving through Howard County. I'm just wondering what that is.
I don't know how official our bumper stickers.
Am I right in saying that the designation would allow us then to call it what we want to call it? The Downtown Sykesville Connect, we would get the designation, but then we could name out the DSC's diversity tagline, whatever we decide our mission is for that committee. So you wouldn't necessarily see Choose Civility bumper stickers in Sykesville as a result of this designation.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, it looks like, is this the choosecivility.org?
Yes.
Okay, so the hashtag choose to be kind.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can look at the list of affiliates and see what each and every of them has chosen to be their brand, what represents them.
But it does say to stand against racism, xenophobia, misogyny, hatred, and racial and gender violence in all forms.
Yeah.
Does it talk through it all, or can you see it on the site that you're looking at? Anything to do with generations?
Yes.
We're a community of many generations, obviously, and I think that's more the diversity than probably anything else.
That's a very interesting point that you just brought up. We tend to lump diversity into groups and categories with trends and what we see happening around us, but diversity should include generational differences. It should include gender differences. It should include not only the ethnicity part, it should also include people with disability, and I think that's what's the most important part of it, because that's what's connecting everything. You start including disability and generational issue, you start thinking connectivity and access. And that's when we're going to start bridging the gap in each and every of those things we have been looking at in a segmented manner, because we need that overall arch and that diversity, but diversity for all and as a whole.
Great conversation.
Yeah, I think can I add something? I think it's important that people remember that we're a nonprofit.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm Dana. I'm the board. I'm the
President
chair of the board.
President for life.
And so when we talk at our board meetings, I constantly have to remind myself and the board, we are a Main Street program, but we're also a 501c3, and so we just had our strategic planning retreat over the weekend, and there probably isn't a nonprofit out there that doesn't have some kind of diversity initiative on their strategic plan, and so we have to think that we're a nonprofit that runs a Main Street program. So there's like a biggest umbrella and then another umbrella under it.
And I think what's great with that Choose Civility application is that it's going to have a structure, something that can stand on its own 2 feet, but also is a part of our nonprofit's operation.
so are you looking at other main streets for that, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel to see what they're doing? Okay, so you're just an explorer.
We are going.
Wouldn't you say we're in the infancy phase
Okay.
of
Oh,
this
yeah.
right now? Yeah.
And we are going to the National Main Street Conference, for which we would be happily buying a registration for any of you. And there is a huge portion of the workshop and classes that touched on that, so we will be a lot more educated when we come back.
Okay.
Like it.
So
Go ahead. You
No,
finish what you're doing.
It's totally something different.
No, go ahead.
It's my other little whatever. So for the state, I'm sitting on the commission, the Trauma Informed Care Commission, which is also about being resilience oriented and equity focused. So we should probably find some time to sit down, because Frederick has started an initiative as well. It ties into the stuff you're talking about.
Yes,
So
it's all linked together. Yes.
yes.
No pun intended. Major link.
Just waiting.
That link.
I just want to add on to what you said at the end with regard to the partnership with the town. As most of you know, I've been part of the Main Street program from the beginning, and this is the best partnership we've had in town since then. With the staff, with Public Works, with the police department, it couldn't be better. I'm very proud of the way it's all come together.
Thank you.
I'll double that.
I'll triple that. Without a viable Main Street, there is no community. You'll just have houses. And I've said that since I've moved here in 2010. I looked out the window that I was working at, and I was like, oh, there's so much potential. And then it just progressed, and you can see the growth, you can see the excitement, and it makes me love to live where I live. Thank you.
Thank you for all the help with it.
Are you glad you came back up to the podium
Yes.
now? Or what? All right. I think you're excused, Julie. Thank you so much again.
Thanks.
So our next item of business on the agenda is to consider, discuss, and most likely act upon a resolution numbered 2022-02 for alcohol at DSC events. And to summarize, the Downtown Sykesville Connection requires local permission to hold events with alcohol, where alcohol will be served prior to applying for the necessary liquor licenses. Each year, the Downtown Sykesville Connection provides a list of their annual events that are reviewed and approved by the town staff. Some of these scheduled events will have an alcohol element, either through tastings or drinks by the glass. The local governing body must authorize the use of alcohol prior to the application and issuance of the necessary liquor licenses for the DSC to hold these events. The attached resolution lists the events where the DSC anticipates alcohol will be present. So we all have, I'm sure, reviewed that documentation. Does anyone have questions for staff?
Yeah, Joe, I got a question about the farmer's market. I know we had this last year. Was there a lot of alcohol at the farmer's market last year, or was it just like a little tasting?
There's not. I think there's one wine vendor that comes on occasion and
Okay.
does provide tastings.
Safety net for that.
Oh yeah. And then you're not planning any big alcohol events for farmer's market, just what it's usually been.
We're gonna stomp grapes.
Oh,
All right. It's a good question. I had the same question, and
Yeah.
and I think there's an occasional distillery that might show up too. Yeah. So
low key.
yeah. Okay. So any other questions or discussion about the resolution? And in absence of that, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-02, authorization of consumption and possession of open containers of alcohol at public events.
Thank
Second.
you. A second from President Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
You guys, everyone, but I'll say it anyway. Any opposed? All right. So with that, the motion carries unanimously, and Resolution 2022-02 is adopted as presented. That brings us to our announcements and reports. I'll begin with those. The next meeting is Monday, March 14th, 2022. We have volunteer opportunities available at the Historic District Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, Police Auxiliary, and Crossing Guard. Anyone interested in learning more information about any of these volunteer opportunities, please email town@sykesville.net. Brings us to staff updates, and first on that list is Chief Spalding with our public safety report. Please. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right.
Evening, everyone.
Evening.
Public safety report covering short period, February 8th through 21st. Again, as we discussed last time, I'm not going to read these for you. You can see relatively small amount of events for about a 2-week period. But I will also share with you, again, this analysis that we have done. I think you guys enjoyed it last time, or there wasn't a whole lot to report last time, and happily, there's not a whole lot to report again this time, and we want to keep it that way. But I will tell you that in terms of the crimes for this 7-day period, and that's what this crime analysis is based on, a 7-day period.
And it's countywide, right, Chief?
Yes, ma'am. Countywide, including all the agencies. I think everyone but the state police is included in this. So there was a total of 6. The largest slice of the pie was 6 commercial thefts, 4 non-commercial thefts, 2 thefts of motor vehicle parts, which turned out to be catalytic converters. They're always a target. You always see those happening. We've had some here in the past, actually. 1 motor vehicle theft and 1 non-commercial burglary. The hot spot really was not us. It was, however, very close to us in Eldersburg. So we're not far from where a lot of the crime is occurring. So are there any questions? There was only 4 incident reports during this period. I think you had those with your packet. I know Al had a few questions about one particular case. And I think, did I answer that to your satisfaction? Yeah. I don't want to go into detail about that because it was a sensitive case, but I did want to mention a few things about that I think that you would find interesting. And oftentimes, I don't know what these officers are doing. I shouldn't say that way, but I don't always know what they do on a case until I actually read the report. And this one struck me as, once again, our officers going above and beyond what's required of them. This was a domestic situation with some rather ugly allegations that came out as a result of it. But a couple things I wanted to point out to you, and I'll kind of paraphrase from this report. This was Sergeant Kilgore and who else? Officer Kirkner. Sergeant Kilgore learned that the victim had been prescribed an antibiotic medication for an infection, and she advised that her boyfriend, who was the suspect in this case, would not pick it up for her. So what does Sergeant Kilgore do?
He goes to
Drives to Eldersburg CVS and picks up the victim's medication, brings it back to her while we're still on the scene of this incident. I mean, it's phenomenal. Later within the report, they find out that they make the male party leave due to the allegations, and prior to leaving, he refused to give the female party any money. And of course, to purchase groceries or food or anything. The female being unemployed, no visible means of support. So what do the officers do? You know what's coming. Reached into their pockets and pulled out $50 and gave it to the victim. So support not only herself, but her child. So just phenomenal effort by these officers. And it doesn't end there. Later we found out in a follow-up conversation with her, we had recommended that she go seek a protective order to prevent the male party from coming back. However, she had no means of transportation. So in a follow-up call, we found out that she had not yet been able to go to the commissioner's office. So what do? Made arrangements for Corporal Byrd to drive the female victim to Westminster to obtain a protective order. So I would submit to you that we did everything within our power to help this family, and of course, above and beyond what I should say most police departments would do. But fortunately, those are the kind of officers that you have here, and that's the kind of effort that we extend to a victim of domestic abuse. So
Thank you,
I wanted to
Chief.
share that with you.
That's the kind of stuff that makes us proud.
Yes.
Me too.
And it speaks to sound leadership as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. A couple other things I just wanted to bring you up to speed on. As you know, Officer Annalise Young will graduate on January 1st, or excuse me, April 1st.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping some of you can be there. It'll be a very special day for us to welcome her to our ranks. She's done a phenomenal job, and that'll be her time to celebrate and have a few days off before she hits the ground running here with our officer. And Officer Kirkner will be field training her for 6 weeks, and then she'll be on her own. So looking forward to that. And in other good news, our 2 other recruits started the police academy today.
Yay,
So,
congratulations.
Yep, they're right across the street at the training center. Officer recruit Morgan Hoppe sent me a text and said, quote, it was a very tough day, but manageable. And, we wish them well prior to heading there this morning. But 6:45 this morning, they were to report. And I think she said she didn't get home till well after 4 o'clock, close to 5 o'clock. But they're going to run them hard and turn them into police officers. And we're looking forward to them graduating in September.
Well, on behalf of the mayor and town council, please pass along our well wishes and good luck and wishes for long perseverance as needed to get through
Absolutely.
the rigor.
They've got a lot of support here, and they know that. And it's nice having them right across the street.
Yes.
We're going to be able to pop in from time to time and check on their status. So I feel pretty confident that they'll do well.
Good.
Excellent.
And I love it's feeding a to be fully staffed and robust.
Very exciting time. It's
Yes,
something I've been looking forward to for a long time, and I think we're finally getting there.
Yes.
Thanks in part to you all and Mr. Joe over there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes.
Any other questions for Chief?
Nope.
Great. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Speaking of Mr. Joe, it's your turn if you'd like to share an update or two with us.
Just one quick reminder for everybody is to say that on March 12th, we will have our own strategic planning session here at the townhouse. I promise not to keep you too long, thinking 8 to 4, that time frame.
8 to 4? 8 hours? What is it?
8 full hours.
Oh, 8 hours. Okay, I thought that's what I heard.
Sorry, 8 to noon.
8 to
I was
10.
going to say, I have a massage later that afternoon. I have a hard stop.
We'll get you out here on time.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Joe.
8 o'clock sharp.
8 o'clock sharp.
8 o'clock sharp. On a Saturday. On my
Saturday.
sleeping day.
Sorry. Just one.
Bring your refillable coffee cups. We'll take care of that. All right? Okay. That brings us to council committee reports. I'll start on my left with Jeremiah if he has anything from the planning commission.
Not this week.
Okay, great. But we do have one coming up.
Yes, we do.
When is that, Jeremiah?
That is next Monday, the 7th. My phone is off, Mayor. So.
Thank you. March 7th at
March 7th,
7 p.m. right here in the council chambers. Tune in, be present, or watch
They,
back.
they all are very important right now.
Yes, sir.
So Warfield should be there. That's my understanding. And there's a little bit more work going on as well because Warfield's not the only thing going on in town.
Sure. Thank
So
goodness.
before we move on, Joe, was there any resolution to the audio?
As far as I know, it's fixed, so I think we're okay.
I'll check out this meeting tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that particular meeting, the audio is what it is. There's no, repairing it. But
No, I know. Yeah, no, I know. But
we hope that the audio is working fine.
Okay.
I think 2 weeks ago our meeting was okay, which followed was subsequent to the audio issues we were having at the planning commission meeting
Okay.
before that. So we're good, I hope.
all right.
Yeah. It is hard to listen to the last planning commission meeting.
Well, yeah, I would have
Yeah.
showed up. But,
Yeah.
but
No. It's just hard to listen to.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah, we're good. President Carter.
Yes, the
Historic.
HDC, Historic District Commission. We had a meeting last Tuesday, and one of our applicants was the Downtown Sykesville Connection. They are going to plan on having a mural featuring our Snallygaster. It's going to be on the corner of Sandusky and Main Street, next to the Pocket Park, or no, not the Pocket Park, the Centennial Park, which is also known as the Fountain Park. There's like a wood door there, so this mural is going to be there for the little kids so they can kind of spot the Snallygaster, so that should be fun. Where's Waldo? Where's the Snallygaster? Yep. And then we had another application, the Sykesville Volunteer Building, right down the hill here.
Yes.
They are planning on redoing some windows and doors, and that application is still pending.
Very good. Thank you so much. And you're speaking of the old volunteer firehouse building.
Correct.
The one with the form stone on it.
Correct. It's the one right
Across.
there on Main Street.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Councilwoman Guroff, do you have any updates for us on Spark or anything thereof?
On the Spark stuff, just that they're working through the movies and kind of putting the meat on the bones of all of the activities planned.
Okay, great. And you'll bring that list of events when it's...
Yeah, I mean, we have a
It's
rough, but
posted.
it doesn't have the exact movie or the...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That
Sure.
kind of
Okay,
stuff.
yeah. Got it. All right. Well, I look forward to knowing the movie list.
It's coming.
Anyone to your right there? Anyone? Leo?
I think Julie covered ours for.
Yeah, I'm going to guess she
Yes,
pretty
the-
much topped all.
We did have our retreat on Saturday. It was a nice brief 4 hours. Thank you for that, Dana. It was very good, better than 8. But it was just our planning for the upcoming year in terms of what we need to do as a board.
Thank you. All right, well, that's all the council committee reports. Do we have a treasury report? We didn't get one, so we don't have any update for that from Craig. You're just here
And
to,
yet Craig is still here.
you're just here to show support to the council?
More or less.
Thank you.
It's my signature.
Oh.
I did give you a signature.
Well, I hate
so-
to keep bringing you guys in. It's not going to come to you this time.
And you stayed, and you stayed the whole meeting. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Councilman Gray.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Schofield. All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
That's unanimous. We are officially adjourned at, let me check here,
7:45.
7:45. Thank you. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Mayor's Association.
You know, Ben?
I thought I was like, that's going to really